This is a nice, quick, easy way to carve the bowl of a spoon. Now I've laid out the shape of the spoon, rough carved out some of the handle, and I've drilled a hole here, a clearance hole. It helps me to establish my depth and helps to clear the chips when I start the carving. I have also left flats on both sides so that it's a lot easier to clamp. That part will be cleaned away when we're finished with the bowl. I'm using a long bent gouge here, and now you just start your working from the center out. Any material is fine for a bowl or for a spoon. If it's going to be decorative, any soft wood, it makes no difference. If this is actually to be used, I would suggest a little harder wood, maple, cherry. They all work very well. I'm not even going to discuss the length of the handle, the shape of the handle, because there's an infinite variety of shapes that you can use. It's all a matter of preference. As in any carving, you have to pay attention to the grain, but you don't have to worry about it too much until you're getting down to the finished, so that you get a nice, smooth finish. Handles is a whole different matter. If you look at some of the books that feature carved spoons, some of the handles are so elaborate, it's really difficult to find where the bowl of the spoon is. It seems to be just an appendage hanging out the bottom, where all the work is in the handle. The love spoons, commemorative spoons, all different types. But you see here, it's just a matter of working your way down. That center hole in a little while will become more important, because that's going to establish the depth. I like to have at least 1/4 of an inch thickness at the bottom of the spoon. This shape is kind of nice. I have a photograph of the spoon, and you can scale it to make it any size you want. On the drawing, those are 1/2 inch grids, so you can make one any size you want. I found this is a particularly nice size spoon because when full, it's exactly correct for laundry detergent for 1/2 of a load of laundry. So I guess it's utilitarian. Now you don't have to use the large mallet tools on a project like this. These small palm tools work just fine. So if you're new at carving, you don't have to invest in a lot of tools. You could carve this very simply with this probably equivalent of about a number 6 tool in a palm size. This is about 1/2 inch wide, and it's really quite effective. Now I'm just about down to the bottom. Now to finish off the inside, do as much as you can with the tools, the carving tools, to get a nice smooth surface. Scraping in here is difficult in very soft wood. The rule of thumb, of course, is to, you can plane soft wood, but you scrape hardwood. So I just use a very coarse 60 grit sandpaper on the sanding pad, and it does a pretty good job. I've left the top flat so that I have a nice clamping surface, so that when I do the outside, it's nicely supported. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to make my little no carve zone. This will be the flat. This is the center of the bowl. And then just a matter of clamping it and starting the carving. Now for the heavier work, the mallet is the way to go. Now, as I'm doing this, you have to remember that there is a curved hollow underneath. So don't get too excited with your work. Pay attention to the shape. And if necessary, stop once in a while and check your dimension. Now at this point, I will lay out the approximate shape of my handle. This could be bandsawn, or it can be carved out. This is where the small tool, again, can be done, but I want you to notice that I'm still have good support. I'm holding the tool, I'm holding the work, and I'm supporting it with my thumb. So we have the standard 3-point control. I have complete control over this, and they're nice just to get into little areas. And after this is done, we can go to the sander and do the final shaping. Times like this, it's nice you can just rough shape the handle. Just saves a lot of sanding. Just get some of that shaping done. There we go. Now that we're ready for the shaping, just a matter of working the shape on the sanding belt, and then this top will determine this curve here in the handle. It makes it very, very convenient. Now that we've completed the rough final finishing on the sander, all that remains is the hand sanding, any detail work that you want to apply, and then you will apply your finish, and you will have one here, which is left-handed for a friend of mine. Enjoy it, have fun.